Hello, everybody. I'm Jesse Waters, along with Kayleigh McEnany, Jessica Tarlov, Dana Perino, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The Five. Open mic at the Rose Garden. President Trump was throwing back Diet Cokes in the Oval, then stepping out to serve up some insults as he hosted a lunch with Republican senators. In the beautifully renovated space, 47 blasting the Democrats for keeping the government shut down and sicking Darth Vader on them.
We have Darth Vader. You know Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader is a man who, I think he's sitting right. Is that Darth? Stand up, please, Darth Vader. Stand up. Does everybody know? They call him Darth Vader. I call him a fine man. But he's cutting Democrat priorities, and they're never going to get him back.
But Darth will be the least of the Democrats' worries because the base wants to see heads roll. If anyone caves, according to The Hill, Democrat senators are, quote, terrified of getting the guillotine if they vote to end the shutdown. Meanwhile, the No Kings boomers might break a hip after hearing this news. President Trump is winning the shutdown battle, and the numbers prove it.
This shutdown hasn't eaten into Donald Trump's support at all. His net approval rating is actually up a point in terms of his popular support. So the bottom line is this. The first shutdown during Trump's first term, 2018-2019, was hurting Donald Trump. This one is not hurting him at all. There's no real reason Donald Trump might say, at least when it comes to popular support, I want to get out of this shutdown.
And despite the fawning coverage of the No Kings protests, Crazy Bernie actually thinks the media is on Trump's side.
What they are trying to do, and I touched on this a little bit in my remarks, is to say to ordinary people, hey, look, we got ICE agents breaking down doors. We got U.S. troops in Portland and Chicago. We're powerful. We are really powerful. You got nothing. Who are you? We got Elon Musk. We got all of the billionaires on our side. We own the media. Our people are buying elections. You can't run against us because we have so much money. And by the way, we control it all. You're nothing. Go home. Who the hell do you think you are?
All right, so Jessica, that poll just goes right in your face because you always say how the Democrats are winning the shutdown battle, and it doesn't look like it.
Well, that poll was about Donald Trump's personal approval rating. And when I saw this in our packet, I thought, oh, my God, it's going to be some enormous number. And then it was +1. And there's also, from the same time during the shutdown, the AP poll, which has him at his lowest second-term approval at 37%. So, take it for what you will. Harry Enton was back on TV this morning with one that I feel like would be in your face. He said, I was shocked to see how Dems have gained on party ID per Gallup. Dems lead by 7 points versus a tie at the start of the year. Looks a lot more like 2018 cycle than 2022. 2018, I liked that very, very much. But the shutdown is about the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party. Greg will taunt me about 2028, but Donald Trump will not be on the ballot. If he is, then the TDS is going to be through the roof. And Republicans are losing the shutdown battle between 10 and 15 percentage points. The American public blames them for it because they are the ones that are in charge. They are in charge of every facet of government, and they have to compromise to get something done. They have to come to the table. And Mike Johnson has been having these calls with his caucus, and members from all over the country are saying to him, we want to at least come back to work. He's keeping the government closed. He's not bringing them back so that they can't even.
This is in the Senate. He doesn't have anything to do with the House, Jessica.
But you need the House to vote on
after
the
Senate goes.
Yeah,
Jessica.
I understand.
You guys in the Senate are not voting to open the government. Isn't that right, Kayleigh?
Well, we don't need
I have
to.
that correct?
They're not making a compromise with us, Johnson. No, you don't have the numbers. Then get 60 senators.
You don't have the issue.
What? We do. Healthcare actually. The voters actually trust us on it. They're wondering where your concepts of a plan are taking them.
If they trusted you would have won the White House.
That's not
you
true.
don't have any power in Washington.
Trump is minus 36 on health care.
And you're minus 897 on everything.
Oh, that sounds official.
A few fact checks. Number one, Harry Enton went on to say fewer than half are blaming Trump for the shutdown. So we did have shutdowns in his polling. Number two, Donald Trump and Barack Obama's net approval ratings on average are about the exact same. At this point in their second term, both hovering around 45%. Joe Biden was 43% worst approval since FDR, or excuse me, going back to Carter. So Trump's doing fine in the polls. Number two, you say we have no health care plan. Mike Lawler has put together a plan with 13 Democrats. He says, let's extend the subsidies for a year and figure out how to bring down health care costs that have skyrocketed since Obamacare.
What does Mike Johnson say about
Chuck
that?
Schumer? Where is Hakeem Jeffries partnering with them? They're not. What they're doing instead is refusing to pass a CR. 12 times, to Jesse's point, 12 times, the Senate has voted down the CR. 13 times, Senate Democrats voted for CRs during Biden's tenure. The only thing that has changed is the president. They won't come to the table on health care. And then finally, the last thing I would say is John Thune said, let's pay the military. Let's pay workers. Democrats said, no, we're going to shoot that down too. They are maximizing pain to cater to the radical left-wing socialists animating Mamdani and the entirety of your party.
Dana Perino.
Yes. Well, yes.
Well, no, go right ahead.
Well, I said at the very beginning when this started that we know how this ends. And it's just the Democrats are deciding to draw out the pain, right? The suffering is optional, and they are taking the option. Government shutdowns, whoever wants to reopen the government, that's the side that wins. President Trump wants to reopen the government. Therefore, the president is winning by a little. But also the Democrats aren't doing anything to help themselves. When is the last time you saw a Democrat on TV making a compelling case? They change the topic all the time. You know, I'm a podcast enthusiast. I listen to a bunch. Listen to a Democrat today. Some great ideas about social media and about the state of the Democratic Party. Never once did they talk about health care or the situation with the shutdown. It's not even on the front page of any of the papers. I checked today with friends who live in Virginia, especially Northern Virginia, where there's that big gubernatorial race. It's not in any of the ads. They're talking about abortion and Jay Jones. So to me, the consultants or the people who are spending money on the issues, they know that it is not working for them. But the closer we get to the cutoff for military families not getting money or air traffic controllers getting that zero on their paycheck, that's when everybody collectively might have a little bit more pain, and the Democrats might find a way to find 10 senators to strategically allow them to do this, because the fever pitch for wanting the shutdown happened last March when Chuck Schumer went ahead and did the vote for the CR. And then all of the progressives started saying, AOC, you have to primary him. We have to get him out. Hence, we are in this position. So how long do they want to draw out the pain in order to play Chuck Schumer's game?
Greg, what are your thoughts on the clean CR?
Thank you. Thank you. Boy, I've been waiting for months to say that. Well, it's a good question, Jesse. No, you know what I always say? Polls are for nerds and strippers. And I'm fresh out of nerds. I just wrote that down. Look, the politicians' biggest fear is that people realize much of what the government does is not essential. The government was created purely for things that we cannot do. The essentials, like military, not trans, military. But over time, it transformed into a massive, ever-expanding monster that is designed for its own self-preservation. Government was great until it got rich. And then as money flowed in, so did the corruption and the rent-seeking. The non-essential now dwarfs the essential, and it fights to the death for its survival. That's why, like, you have a temporary spending bill that was supposed to be temporary, but, you know, it's easy to invite but impossible to evict when you have bureaucrats. And it's funny to see the same people who are marching against no kings, fighting for a ever-increasing government, especially one that tells you how to behave. I mean, under Biden, we actually had a government that invaded your bedroom, invaded your family's bedrooms, invaded your children's locker rooms. You can't get more unessential and intrusive than that. If you are against no kings or for no kings, I forgot what it was, then you should be happy the government's shut down because they're out of your way. Finally, every time Bernie mentions billionaires, we have to point out the hypocrisy and the weakness of that argument. There are 900 billionaires in the United States. You're going to focus all your energy on 900 people when there are 370 million people in the United States. There's probably out of there 1 million criminals, many of them violent, on the street. People care about illegal immigration. They care about criminals. These are things that you can score. The billionaires, what are you going to do? The only reason why he says billionaires, because he can't say millionaires. He can't say millionaires. He used to, but he can't because he became one. Now that he's a millionaire, now that Liz Warren's a millionaire, Gavin Newsom is a millionaire, you go down the line, you can't actually incriminate yourself. You know, this is the problem with demonizing the rich. Sooner or later, You're going to want to become one. And then what do you do?
All right, well said, Greg. Up
Thank
next.
you, Jesse.
You're not welcome. President Trump gets threatened after nuking narco-terrorists in the Caribbean. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.